Welcome to this special event for the Rotary Clubs of McMinnville and for the entire McMinnville and Warren County community. This is Bill Zachman, the Community Relations Chair for Noon Rotary, the Rotary Club of McMinnville, and also the incoming president. We want to thank WCS-TV and the Warren County School System for making this opportunity available. What we'd like to do today is provide an update on Rotary Club activities, both the Noon Club and the McMinnville Breakfast Club, and to just let our Rotary members and associates and the community at large know that in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic and the massive economic and social disruption and dislocation, that we are still very much active. We're still serving humanity here in Warren County and indeed around the world. So things are going forward. Of course, in this new reality, we're having to do things a lot differently, and we expect that whatever the new reality after the pandemic curve, the epidemic curve, flattens out and starts down, those things will be looking somewhat different also. Today, I want to thank especially Joe Harvey and his crew at WCS-TV and Ben Lomond Connect and Ben Lomond TV for making this presentation possible. This program is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Warren County School System Facebook page, so it will be available for any viewers on demand. We're sitting at the stage of Warren County High School. This is the same location where the Warren County School Board has been conducting its interviews for the new Director of Warren County Schools, and that election will be taking place tomorrow evening, Thursday, at 5 o'clock in this very same place. So again, Joe Harvey, and to your staff, thank you very much. I want to thank our incumbent schools director, Bobby Cox, who's seated right here behind me. And Bobby's going to be bringing an update on school operations. I know that parents, students, teachers, school support personnel, and businesses out in the community are just very eager to hear what the situation is looking like for the let's say tentatively the normal resumption of on-campus classes in August. So we'll be talking to Bobby about that. Also on the stage, we're fortunate to have Shane Brock, who is president of McMinnville Noon Rotary, over here on my right. To the left, Debbie Sain, who is executive secretary at McMinnville Electric System, and she is president of the Breakfast Club. Back here on my right, Zack Sutton, doctor of physical therapy, and the awesome and amazing grant writer for McMinnville Noon Rotary, and he's going to be talking about a couple of major grants that impact Warren County and also impact our deeply impoverished and disadvantaged neighbors in Haiti, down to the southeast of us. And also Chris Centracchio, who is the manager for IT operations at Ben Lomond Connect. And we're going to be talking about one of the most important utility and infrastructure supports during this time of social and economic separation and isolation, and that's our broadband communications. Before we get started with reports from the Rotary Club and the school system, I'd like to mention two major events going on this week. This is National Nurses Appreciation Week. It also coincides with National Teachers Appreciation Week. So we from Rotary and the Warren County School System and the civic community in general want to give a big shout out, a thank you, a huge pat on the back, and a virtual hug to all of our nurses, our medical support personnel, our doctors, the technicians, and also to the teachers. Right now, we think about those two occupational specialties, I guess, more than we would at any other time, because we're reminded of just how dependent we are on the science and art of nursing and teaching. So compliments and congratulations to you all, to our nurses and our teachers. Okay, let's jump over to Shane Brock, president of McMinnville Noon Rotary. Shane, can you give us a little update on what we're doing at Noon Rotary, especially since we've suspended in-person meetings throughout the month of May?
Absolutely, Bill. First of all, I want to thank you for putting this together, and thank you again to Joe Harvey and WCS-TV for opening the school system up for us, or this auditorium, and for Bobby for allowing us to be here today to do this. You know, we are in uncharted waters when it comes to Rotary and how we are to perform our civic club duties in the face of COVID. You know, in March we had just finished assisting with some projects with the tornadoes that took place in Putnam County. And we are still gathering funds through our club's nonprofit, our 501c3, the McMinnville Rotary Community Fund. And we are still ongoing and collecting funds for that we can send directly to individuals who were directly impacted by those tornadoes. So if you would like to consider a donation to help those victims, you can still do so through the McMinnville Rotary Club. That's one thing that we have still ongoing. You know, it's uncharted waters. We've never in the history that I can remember any club member talking about having to cancel Rotary meetings for 2 months. It is certainly unprecedented, but just because we don't meet as Rotarians doesn't mean that we don't have responsibilities and projects that we want to accomplish here in our community. We do communicate through a bulk email system that we have access to, and that's really one way that we are communicating to our members and those actively involved with the Rotary of what's going on. But we also want to be able to communicate to the community of projects that are ongoing, and we'll hear a little bit more about those projects from Zack in just a few moments. One thing that we have done in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis is we realize there's a lot of nonprofits that are here in Warren County that have really stretched their own budgets. They've stretched their food pantries, and because of what they've had to do extra to go above and beyond, we wanted to reach out and support those organizations. So Kids of the Community and also Meals on Wheels, we did a financial donation during the month of April to those organizations. And there's so many worthy organizations here in McMinnville that have really gone above and beyond during this as we kind of work our way through how can we assist as many as possible through our Rotary clubs. And we're fortunate to have 2 great Rotary clubs here in McMinnville that we always seem to partner so well with each other, and we're grateful for that partnership. You know, we don't know yet what July is going to hold. Obviously, our clubs begin a brand new Rotary year on July 1. We've not yet made it through June, so we don't know how June's going to shape up and how it will affect the first quarter of a new Rotary year. You know, July and August are big months for each of our clubs, and we've got to, play it by ear and really seek the guidance from our local government, our state government, also at the district level, from Rotary district level all the way up to Rotary International. And as we receive that information from our district governor and Rotary, and also the Rotary International president, we'll pass that information along to other club members via our email system, and also phone trees and things of that nature as well. I hope that as we get to June, as we see how we can begin to finish up a Rotary year, we may have to have some creative planning, much like we're doing right here in this meeting. Social distancing is very, very important, and we have to make sure that we are beginning these meetings in a very responsible, safe method for our members and for our guests and for those who come and speak at our programs. It allows us to think outside the box, because who knows what the new normal is going to be after some of the dust settles on COVID. But one thing for sure is with Rotary, you know, our clubs are only as strong as our memberships. And we have some amazing members in each of our clubs. but we're always seeking new members. If you have a heart of service, service above self, which is our motto in Rotary, we would encourage you to consider becoming a Rotarian. And you can do so by reaching out to me, Debbie, Bill, Bobby, Zach, any other Rotarians that you're familiar with. Let them know that you'd be interested in becoming a Rotarian, because there's so many great projects, not just at the local level, but as you will hear from Zach in just a moment, what Rotary does here in McMinnville really has a global impact, and we're very proud of the fact that the ripple that we start here spreads so much further than just the boundaries of Warren County.
Right. That's a great way to put it, the ripple that starts here, and we're going to hear more about that when we go over to Zach and our humanitarian service grant program in just a moment. But let me add a little footnote to what Sain said about membership. For many decades, Rotary, which Rotary International is now over 100 years old, started with a group of 5 Chicago businessmen, and for the first several decades, Rotary seemed to be concentrated on occupational and vocational sectors. It was an all-male organization for many, many years, regrettably. And then we finally figured out that, half of the smarts, half of the intelligence in America, plus some, resides with the females. So the club on an international level did move somewhat slowly and haltingly, but now we found out that we are so much enriched, so much stronger, so much better, so much smarter, having the ladies participating. And one of those great leaders in Rotary and in our community is Debbie Sain. Debbie is president of McMinnville Breakfast Rotary, which meets at the unscriptural time of 7 a.m. I mean, you're in a church building at 7 a.m. So bless you all.
We're filling fuel bags at 6:45.
Yeah, okay, 6:45, okay. All right. Debbie, if you would bring us up to date on what's going on at Breakfast Rotary, and I want to know especially about one of the signature projects, and that is the river cleanup, which has just grown by leaps and bounds over the years.
Okay.
Debbie Sain.
Thank you very much, Bill, and thank you everyone for allowing us to update the community on the activities of Rotary. Like Sain mentioned, just because we have COVID in the community doesn't mean that Rotarians are not active. We are people of action, and that is behind the scenes, and that's whether or not we're meeting face-to-face or not. However, canceling our meetings has become a little bit of a challenge. We have folks that we miss regularly. They've been there every week for months and months, and we miss those folks. So to combat the challenge of not meeting face-to-face, the McMinnville Breakfast Rotary Club, we are we're doing a project called Tell Me Something Good. So we have so much negative news in the news feeds that I just prompted everyone to send me an email with something good, whether that be a wedding announcement, a grandchild announcement, what your grandchild is doing, what your children are doing, flowers, just anything that just makes you put a smile on your face. So every day I get emails from our members, and I spread those out, and it's called Tell Me Something Good. And I know you're singing that song in your head already. So we get the daily dose of good news for our members. We're also encouraging our members to look to the district governor for some help, and he does virtual meetings on a weekly basis on the Facebook Live, the District 6780 Facebook Live page. And we encourage our members to watch those meetings. That way you get the speaker, you get content. There are things that they can provide that we can't provide on the local level during this shutdown. We are also, this year, we started a countywide poster contest that 2 of our members took under their wing, and we have winners of these poster contests that are based upon river health. Okay. And our children they seem to know, the next generation seems to know the importance of the health of our rivers. And the project that you were speaking of, Bill, is our 14th annual river riding cleanup. It had been moved to August, but I was informed just today that we are going to get it back in July. And so it's the third Saturday in July. It may look a little different because of social distancing, but we will still be able to have our teams. I feel we have about 20 teams. We have over 400 volunteers that come from all across the state to help clean up our rivers. We've cleaned up tires. It is amazing at the amount of tires that we pull out of our rivers, and it's really sad. But this poster contest got into the classroom with the children and talked with the children through a curriculum about where those tires end up, that the river is not a trash receptacle. And so that was one of the things that we were really hoping to accomplish by this. And we had 9 winners, and we gave out $500 in prizes, so they get a little oomph with their poster win. We also have a collection of toiletries and household products for the Family Resource Center. They are in desperate need right at this particular time, and if you would like, you may contact me and I can give you an address where you could drop those off. But anything that you could think of, shampoo, soap, laundry detergent, all those things that a typical household needs, we have those needs in our community. We also are partnering with Noon on a project or two, and I think Zack will talk about those. But like I say, we are ramping up for the river cleanup July the 18th. We're looking for sponsors, and we might be contacting local businesses. We understand that, like I say, this may be a little bit different, but TWRA is always a great partner. Walmart, the local banks. We've had a lot of great partnership in this river cleanup. And we are looking forward to August, to the golf tournament that we work together with Noon on, and we're hoping that that's going to be permitted with the new guidelines. We hope that will work. And we are prepping for the 2020 Warren County A&L Fair food booth. So our hopes are that this COVID will be at least somewhat controlled, and that our guidelines will be met and heeded to, so that we can get this virus on its way. And we would like to talk about membership as well. We welcome you guys to, if you enjoy breakfast and you love getting up at 6:30 and coming and filling fuel bags for children who don't get food on the weekends, we're your team. We have a really great group of folks, and we have the best breakfast in town, so come see us.
Debbie, thank you so much. Debbie Sain, Executive Secretary at McMinnville Electric System and President of McMinnville Breakfast Rotary. You do so many great things, and I think you're talking about tell me something good.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Send me some flowers in words. And, I think the point here is that Rotary as an organization is hopeful, optimistic, and active. Just as Shane said, we're under the COVID-19 social distancing mandates, but we're still active. We're still thinking about those less fortunate.
We are.
And the Breakfast Rotary and Noon Rotary and so many churches and other organizations do the Fuel program, which is one of the names for the weekend backpack program,
right,
to provide some nutritional support for our students. I love the fact, Debbie, and I congratulate you and the other Breakfast Rotary members in making the river cleanup a teachable moment.
Yes.
For our young people. It amazes me that water is one of the absolutely essential molecules for all forms of life. There are a few other elements and minerals that are essential, but we can't get by without water. And why in the world we would deliberately pollute and defile our water systems is just beyond me. I can't explain it, but Breakfast Rotary, 14 years now.
14 years.
14 years has been leading the way. You have over 400 volunteers.
We did last year.
Oh, that's great. Third Saturday in July 2020.
That's correct.
And those needing information, just call you, I guess, Debbie, at
They're
MES?
welcome to do so. We have a website as well. It's breakfastrotary.org, and you'll find all the details there. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, here again, taking care of humanity locally. We're doing that, and also for points more distant. I'm going to go to Zack Sutton, and he is the, as I say, the absolutely quintessential grant writer for Noon Rotary. How you do all this, Zack, is amazing because it is complicated. There are a lot of moving parts in writing these grants, but the grants are a financial partnership between the Rotary District as part of Rotary International and the local clubs. And I don't know what you want to do first. We have two projects. One, the renovation of the Rotary Community Track at Nunley Stadium at Warren County Middle School, and also the Haiti Hospital project. So, Zack, take it away. You just tell us what you want us to hear about first. And Mr. Harvey and his crew will have some visuals to put up on the screen to help illustrate this. Zack?
Thank you, Bill. First, what's really helped me in grant writing, and particularly with Rotary, has been Rachel Killebrew, who's a member of the Breakfast Club, and has been a huge asset to mentor me through this process. The project that we just concluded was based in Haiti. Haiti, as everybody knows, is one of the poorest countries in the world. Grand-Bois is located about 40 miles east of Port-au-Prince, their capital, and is bordering the Dominican Republic. They are one of the poorest counties in one of the poorest countries in the world. They have a population of about 65,000, and the only medical source they have is this hospital of St. Vincent de Paul in the area of Grand-Bois. They serve approximately 14,000 patients every year. A number of them are women that come to them in labor. So I mentioned that they're about 40 miles from Port-au-Prince. That is the center for any kind of emergency surgery, including cesarean that would go along with maternal health. But these women that come in, they did not have ultrasound at the time at the hospital. And so they would have to endure a 40-mile trip down to Port-au-Prince, being potentially in labor.
You might mention that this is not on nice, modern paved highways. This is on the most rudimentary kind of dirt trail. It's 40 miles, but under the best of conditions, it takes 5 hours.
Yes, sir.
And good conditions don't often prevail.
That is absolutely correct. And as we get into some of the pictures, you'll see the truck that brought some of our equipment up there actually got stuck, and they had to camp out for the night. The drivers did. Wait till the morning till it dried up, dig it out, and then get moving again. So quite an effort to get 3 trucks up the mountain. This was also done earlier this year in the middle of January, when we had there was rioting going on, and the public was trying to overthrow the government there. So quite a feat. We have delivered X-ray, ultrasound, a full laboratory, 15 medical beds, 600 medical supply items to help improve their healthcare services there, particularly for the mortality of their babies and mothers. And then we also provided funds for a wall and cistern construction that was related to the earthquake in 2010. It was a 6.0 on the Richter scale, killed over 230,000 people in Haiti. And then there's an additional earthquake 2 years ago. So they did a lot of refortification of the walls there at the hospital and added some, as we were talking about, a cistern for water. This project was a huge partnership with the Rotary Club of McMinnville being the main sponsor, and then we had a number of helpful clubs of Hartsville, Sevierville, Sunrise, McMinnville Breakfast, Cookville, Sunset, and Jamestown, and we're grateful for all their participation and help in making this a reality. The partnerships that we had externally were Food for the Poor and Serve Haiti, which is kind of the main caregiver for that hospital. The cost for this, we had $69,000 in costs, including $20,000 for the equipment. One of those ultrasounds, brand new, is over $20,000. So we got a very good deal on all that equipment from MedShare. Transportation costs to get it into Haiti was $5,000, and then we spent $44,500 on the wall and cistern project. And these were pretty extensive I-beams that were going on the walls to support them. So very big project. We got $30,000 from our district and the district grant. Food for the Poor gave $5,000, then Serve Haiti helped us with $34,000 there. So total project cost of $69,500.
Zach, you might note that leverage, that $69,500 from Rotary and partnering agencies, leveraged about $350,000 worth of new medical equipment going into that very isolated mountaintop hospital. One of the scenes that struck me when you first started talking about this project was the reports that the patients, and these are people who are just desperately, miserably poor, were put on mattresses where the steel springs had broken, and these steel metal spikes, most of them very rusty, were sticking through the mattress covers. So the patients, they came into the hospital very sick, and they probably got a lot sicker because of just the physical danger of being on those damaged cots.
Yes, sir.
And I think one of the graphics that you sent shows some new mattresses going in.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Great. What about that other project right here in Warren County that will help with the health and well-being of our community and help with our students?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. In the mid-80s, the Rotary Club of McMinnville, led by Dr. Neil Schultz, completed the re-engineering of Nunley Stadium down at Warren County. You can see some of the plans and such on there. The re-engineering was just not a matter of, how big of a circle do we need it. Actually involved quite a bit of dynamite and blowing out some of the stadium, as well as a lot of rock, and then extending the drop-off on the northern side of the track there. The track is still present. The inside lane has some crumbling areas. The surface is asphalt, which, speaking as a physical therapist and runner, is not an ideal due to the high association of running injuries. And Warren County has not hosted a track meet in a decade. So we kind of feel responsible to come back and help initiate a resurfacing project. This project, just resurfacing the project with a new rubberized surface, has a price tag of $120,000. We have just been approved by Rotary International and the District Grant Committee they are going to match $20,000. The Breakfast Club is participating with the Noon Club, and so we have right now a $40,000 contribution to bring that price tag down. The timeline that we are hoping for, and of course we're in a different time right now with some change of leadership and also uncertain times with the COVID, but initially we set up the goal that we would be able to raise as much money as possible and then provide that as a gift to the school system at the end of May. That would allow the school board to begin a bid process as needed for the county, and then be through the month of June, and then award that with the hopes that they would be able to complete this before the start of school.
It is a partnership between the Warren County School System and the Rotary Clubs, and it will involve some community-wide fundraising activity. We're going to be inviting the usual great corporate citizens of our community, along with a lot of others, maybe some newcomers, to that exercise to join us. And Citizens Tri-County Bank Shane Brock heads up the operations in Warren County, and Shane, appreciate you stepping up, and your bank has already taken the lead in offering support. So this, we hope, will be a great reality. We're covetous of the opportunity to host district and regional meets here, and that's what we want to do.
Well, since we're talking about running, it makes me think of the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
And so I'm hopeful, as Rotarians are optimistic, that we will be able to have the fun run in downtown McMinnville, our 5K, and then the kids for 10 and under to do the 1 mile around downtown. So fingers crossed we're able to do that again this year as well.
That's been going on for a lot of years. Doug Milner at Middle Tennessee Dr. Pepper Bottling has been the key sponsor for as long as anybody can remember. And we look forward to that event, and we hope by that first weekend in July we'll be set to go. Yes, hopefully we can do that, maybe with some modifications. That's one of the major fundraisers.
Absolutely.
For the Rotary projects, including the Rotary Community Track. Just to give our viewers a little preview, we're going to go now to Ben Lomond Connect. Chris Centracchio is here. We talked to Lisa Cope, who is CEO and GM at Ben Lomond. She's one of our great members at Noon Rotary, and we wanted to talk to Ben Lomond. She's going to be tied up, bless her heart, with all kinds of conference calls and the things she has to do in her very responsible position. She has asked Chris Centracchio, who heads up the IT operations, to come and talk to us about what Ben Lomond is doing about expanding broadband communication, making it more available, more consistent, maybe more bulletproof if that is possible, because we know how much we depend on that electronic communication. Chris, can you give us a little update on what's happening at Ben Lomond?
Oh, yes, sir, absolutely. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to you and everyone that's on Rotary for everything you do for our community. It's very much noticed, and we're very thankful for everyone.
Absolutely.
And as we all know, with this pandemic that's come about, it's presented a lot of unique challenges and opportunities. And we have people that have to work from home, students that have to do their school from home, and with the stay-at-home orders that have been going on, people have more entertainment needs at home, right, because they're locked into their homes. So it's really, we've seen an exponential increase in broadband usage since this pandemic has hit. And it's given us an opportunity to provide some relief for some people. We have put in free hotspots throughout our community. We have some at each of our office locations in McMinnville, Sparta, Crossville, as well as Tracy City. We also have some in other key areas. For example, we put in a hotspot at Covenant Academy, as well as one at the Manchester Conference Center. So people that don't have access to high-speed internet at home are able to pull into these community areas and use the internet for free.
Okay, great. That's quite a service. I think the Ben Lomond service area that includes, of course, Warren, White, Van Buren, Grundy, part of Coffee County. I'm probably leaving somebody out, but we are indeed fortunate here that Ben Lomond Connect has been in the forefront nationally in modern state-of-the-art communications, including broadband. And at a time like this, we realize just how dependent we are.
We really are. And unfortunately, in this time of social distancing, with the increased need for broadband, it's also led to an increase in a need for support. Mm-hmm. And a lot of our support is on-site, person-to-person. So we have a responsibility not just to our customers, but to our employees, right, to keep them safe and well distanced. So we've come up with some means to where we have some technology that we put to use that allows us to provide hopefully the same level of support to our customers while limiting exposure for our employees to where they don't have to be on site or go in the home and be exposed potentially.
Right. And that's a great service. I've used your tech support. They do a great job.
Thank you.
So I want to compliment you. Chris Centracchio from Ben Lomond Connect, he is here at the request of Lisa Cope, who is General Manager and CEO at Ben Lomond. I want to go over finally as we wrap up to Bobby Cox. Bobby, I've often said, is the busiest man in all of Tennessee because he does so many things and he does them all extremely well. But one of the things we want to talk about, Bobby, of course, is your conference call. When this event is being recorded, it will have been within the last hour. You talked to Penny Schwinn, Dr. Schwinn, who is the Tennessee Commissioner of Education, just wondering how things are looking for the orderly, productive continuation of K through 12 public education in Tennessee. What's the latest?
Well, we just got off our Wednesday conference call. We have a conference call 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 o'clock ever since the outbreak, and schools have been closed for the rest of the year. Most of the time we're working on budgeting and things of that type to end the current year and making sure that we're trying to deliver lessons to students and students' basic needs are being cared for, such as food delivery and things of that type. And right now, a lot of the conversation is on the stimulus package that schools will receive and the state's application for that. So that was really kind of the conference call today. Moving forward, next week, as a matter of fact, there'll be focused conference calls with the state on ringing toward next year. So we are in planning for that. Obviously, we're trying to get this year closed out, bringing teachers in next week to start on professional development for next year, using social distancing and in small groups, and bring them in 10 or less at a time. And so that's a challenge because we can't get everybody together. Planning for our pre-K and kindergarten screening, we've had to retool that. Instead of in person, we're going to try to do a lot of that virtually with the registration process. So with 4 and 5 years old, 4 and 5 year old students, that's a challenge. But we're working through that, and that'll be the first time we've been able to do that. So we're still going to have to bring pre-K students in. We'll do that in June and do that on a social distanced basis. But we're planning for school to start in August as we normally start. Now, what that looks like, I don't know. My successor that's coming in will probably take a more active role in that, but we're trying to lay the groundwork so that makes it a little bit easier. But we're planning on, having a calendar that starts on August the 12th, I believe, is the first day of school. How we run buses will be another challenge, and social distance students and get students to school. So we're working through all that right now. Those will happen, through the month of June and into July. And, then we'll see how things go or how the climate is at that point in time. And we'll adjust and change. And hopefully we can have everybody back as normal.
So I guess if the school community, parents, students, teachers, support personnel, if they want to assume anything, is assume that August 12 will be the start date.
I think that would be safe to assume that in some form or fashion. We hope that it's in person, and it could be a variety of what in person looks like at that time. I don't know. Our goal is to start school like we normally do and move right on, and we hope that that's the way it is, but we're going to have contingency plans in place if it's not.
Bobby is great at planning. He takes into account all the contingencies and uncertainties, and we certainly appreciate that. Bobby, what about that other big event in the lives of our young people, high school graduation, and of course the senior prom. I know that you and Clark George, executive principal at Warren County High School, have done a lot of talking about that, a lot of planning. So what is that looking like?
Well, again, that's going to look a lot different. We want to make sure our seniors at least have that experience. For the prom, obviously, we'd rather not have 1,000 people in a gym in close quarters together, so it's not going to look like that. We're looking to do something outdoors, maybe at the high school here, around the outside of the gym and on our transportation loop. Decorate. It'd be more of a come and go fashion, so that students can still have that experience, but do that in a safe and orderly fashion. So we've worked on plans for that. High school graduation in the same manner. We've done a lot of math and a lot of measuring over the last few days at the stadium. The good thing is we can accommodate a lot of people in the stadium, which is good. So we feel like we can adequately social distance our students on the football field 6 feet apart, side to side and front to back, stretch that out and make sure that they're social distanced and safe there. Probably have to limit the number of people who can come in to the graduation ceremony and sit them in a social distanced environment as well. And just limit the things that we do there. But we have plans in place that we're going to bring to the school board on the 11th to get the board's approval and guidance on that. Prior to that, I'm working with the local health department, other superintendents in our region and how they're doing things. So hopefully by the 11th, we'll have a full plan in place for both events and get that out to the public.
Okay. Stay tuned, and one of the best ways to stay tuned is on BLTV channel 180 and the Warren County School System Facebook page, and of course the website. The food program, we are going right on with the feeding of students, and under our arrangements, we're able to feed all Warren County people age 18 and under, whether or not they're enrolled.
Correct.
And we're doing that. We're actually delivering to set locations with Durham school services and the buses.
Right. We're operating 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1. We have 6 school site pickup and grab and go locations, 3 off-site, Hamilton Street Housing Authority, Morrison Housing Authority, and Kids of the Community sites that we transport meals there, and parents can come by and pick those up. And then we also run 10 bus routes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we're serving around 10,000 meals on average each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So it's been kind of consistent through the whole time, and we'll continue to do that through the last day of school. And then we'll have a summer feeding program with cafeterias open again for grab and go throughout the summer.
There'll be about a 1 week hiatus in between the
right
program. Okay. And that is so important to the community and not just to the success of our educational program, but to the community at large. I want to take just a moment and thank all of our student nutrition employees in the Warren County School System. We've had Lunchroom Heroes Week, but it kind of got submerged in all of the COVID-19 dislocation, but we appreciate those people who go in there every day, start early in the morning.
Absolutely.
They work hard. I've often said that we have a lot of hard-working people in the Warren County schools, but I don't think anybody works any harder than the student nutrition people. Faye Taylor and her program, she's the supervisor, but we want to thank and commend them for that. Some key dates: August 12th. The start, as far as we know right now, the 2020-21 school season. And for the river cleanup, will be the 3rd Saturday in July, Debbie?
Yes.
We look forward to that, and just lots of other great things going on. Let me mention in closing that the Warren County Health Department, the Tennessee Department of Health, and the Tennessee National Guard Medical Corps are assisting with totally free, COVID-19 testing. This is underway every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At the Warren County Health Department location just off Sparta Highway, across from Three Star Mall and close to the Warren County Jail facility. So avail yourself of that. Results are coming back in 2, at the most 3 days. They will call you from the health department and let you know the results of your test. But totally free. You do not have to have any kind of symptoms, of the usual symptoms of the coronavirus. Just show up and get tested for free. Tennessee is one of the few and very fortunate states to be able to have this kind of universal COVID-19 testing and totally free. I want to thank again Noon Rotary President Shane Brock. I want to thank you, Debbie Sain, of the president of McMinnville Breakfast Rotary, Chris Centracchio, representing Lisa Cope from Ben Lomond Connect, Zack Sutton, our amazing grant writer at the McMinnville Noon Rotary Club, and Bobby Cox, director of Warren County Schools. Thank you all for being here. I want to thank Joe Harvey, director of WCS-TV, and of course our viewers. We appreciate your time and attention. The Rotary clubs all over the world, 1.1 million Rotarians working in over 300,000 local clubs, some of them as small as just a handful of members, some of them with several hundred members, but all of them unified in a passion to serve humanity. Thank you all, and thanks to our viewers. This is Bill Zeckman for WCS-TV.